was interesting. Let's go find a place to park. Come here. Windows are frozen. It is cold. It's about 17 degrees here in Arkansas. I've lived in worse. So those of you who are in the upper Midwest, you know how that can be. So, all right, again, welcome to Fritter Friday. Let me angle that down just a little bit. On Fritter Friday, I named it such because they didn't give me any napkins, but I always like to carry a spare. Fritter Friday because on Friday I'm going to imbibe in this delicious apple fritter. I don't know if I'm going to eat the whole thing today. I don't know if I have that much discipline, but I'm going to try, kind of spread out the blessing. And all right, got my coffee and my apple fritter. And what I want to do on Fritter Fridays is bring to you some interesting stories, some odd stories. And so, oh man, that's good. So I have two stories for you today. And the second one, stay tuned to the end because it's a good one. All right. So I found this one article on what people back in 1925 were predicting life would be like in 2025. And so I thought some of these are pretty interesting. Here goes first one. Bite first. Wash it down. Makes it even better. Okay. The future looked ugly to Albert E. Wiggum, an American psychologist. According to his calculations, homely, dull people were having more children than beautiful, intelligent people. Quote, "If we keep progressing in the wrong direction, as we have been doing, American beauty is bound to decline, and there won't be a good-looking girl to be found 100 years from now." Unquote. He was sure wrong. Looking around the auditorium, he added, "However, this lack is not apparent yet, especially here in Brooklyn." Here's another prediction. The advances of medicine and surgery will have been such that most of the ailments and limitations of old age will have been eliminated. Life will be prolonged at its maximum of efficiency until death comes like sunset and is met without pain and without reluctance. There will be no death from disease, and almost any sort of injury will be curable. Well, he was off on that one too. Next one, new fabrics will no doubt be invented. Combining the warmth of fur with the softness and flexibility of silk and the strength of linen, dress will be light, so that half a dozen changes of costume can be carried in a handbag, and will be so designed that each change will involve no more inconvenience than does the removal of a raincoat. Interesting. A very useful service will be the radio alarm clock. Now this is pretty good. Signals will be sent out at frequent intervals on different wavelengths, say between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. every morning. And setting the alarm clock to catch the signal at the desired time will avoid any risk of oversleeping. House and public clocks and even watches will be synchronized by signals sent several times daily, and we shall then know the right time instead of finding a variation of minutes all over the city. And yeah, we've kind of come to that even better because our smart clocks update 24 hours a day. Let's see. The air traveler will walk into a comfortable and well-appointed waiting room in the center of the city. An elevator will take him up to the roof where he will step directly into a room and really comfortable airplane cabin. There will be no bumping over a hilly aerodrome, but the machine mounted on a turntable will be shot off into the air by catapults and travel through space at over 300 miles an hour. There's kind of a mixture of truth in that as far as, our airliners fly about that fast, but getting up into the air is a little bit different. Here's another one. A substitute for sleep will be found. Its chief ingredient would probably be acid sodium phosphate. Now, those of you who are chemists and pharmacists, so forth, I don't know, chime in on what you think that's going to do to our bodies, that we wouldn't need sleep. I don't like that one. I like nighttime, nighttime. Chemistry would be used to produce synthetic foods, oh heaven forbid, making them chiefly out of nitrogen from the atmosphere. People would use a pocket-sized apparatus. Now this is good. A pocket-sized apparatus for communications to see and hear each other without being in the same room. Somebody got that one right. Cell phones are here, folks. I mean, who would have thought we would? When I was a kid, in the 60s and 70s, they were talking about, just plug in phones on the kitchen counter or hung on the wall somewhere that had a video screen that you could talk to each other that way. But this one was right. It's pocket. But what they didn't realize, you could watch movies, you could play games and all that kind of stuff. Okay. Here's one way off. There would be world peace, a common world currency, and universal free trade. I mean, we got a lot of free trade going on. Not a world currency, unless you want to call gold that, or bitcoins, I guess, could end up going in there. But anyway, knee slappers from 1925. Funny things that were happening back then. I guess horse-drawn vehicles are fast disappearing from our streets. But jackass-driven automobiles will still be with us 100 years from now. True. The daily and hourly progress of madness and folly and wickedness will at least make a fine narrative in history. But probably the people of the future will have so many follies of their own that they will not care greatly for ours in 2025. True. Now, a scientist declares, there will be nothing to laugh about 100 years hence. We suppose that means 100 years from now, there will be no bow-legged girls in short skirts or skinny-shanked men in golf togs. Well, we got plenty to laugh at these days. Weird guys walking around with a cell phone talking to himself, for instance. Those who fear the world will be overpopulated a century hence may underestimate the capacity of moonshine. It is a killer. Let's see. They are now celebrating the 100th anniversary of the invention of the detachable collar. Judging from the popularity of divorce, 100 years from now, they will be celebrating the invention of the detachable marriage yoke. I don't know if it's something to be celebrated, but yeah, divorces, I don't know if it's on an all-time high, but unfortunately. All right, get a bite. Best part of the apple fritter is these little crunchy parts. Right here. Anyway. All right, now for something a little more. Again, celebrating the new year. January 3rd. An Indian stuntman. Now, if you're really looking for purpose in life, here you go. This'll help out. This will give you some direction. An Indian stuntman earned a Guinness World Record by stopping 57 electric fans in 1 minute using his tongue. I prefer using my tongue to taste my apple fritters. Let's see if I pronounce his name right. Kranthi Kumar Panakara, aka Drill Man, took on the challenge on the set of Italian TV series Lo Show Day Record in Milan. Panakara used his tongue to stop 57 fans in the allotted time, in other words, in a minute, enough to earn the title. Folks, it gets better. I saw the video of him doing that. It was crazy, just going down one fan at a time, sticking his tongue on the blaze to stop them, going from one to the next. But that's not his top accomplishment. There's two more. The Daredevil's other Guinness World Record titles include the heaviest vehicle pulled by a swallowed sword. The vehicle weighed 4,285.78 pounds. Okay, here's one. Do not try this at home. I'm not recommending any of this, so do not try these at home. Do not try to break any world records, okay? This I did find people doing, but not quite to this extent. And the record for most nails inserted into the nose with a hammer in 1 minute. He hammered, and I saw other people doing it, they kind of tap it in with a hammer, 22 nails. My friends, there's other ways to find enjoyment and purpose in life than the way Mr. Panakara did it. So, anyway, here's to a happy new year, and I look forward to doing more of these Fritter Fridays. You have a great day. Oh yeah, that's good.